Hello and welcome to the Cat Collective. I'm Nina, I'm the channel for this channel, and today it's a bit weird because I started this reading and it wanted to lead me into one direction to go to, right? To talk about. But then another message came through, and this was the main message. And then I was like, oh no, I need, I had to disregard the whole message, the first 10 minutes. And now I'm here, I'm like, I don't want to pull more or other cards. I will probably pull more. But this message wanted to come through in this reading, so I hope that's okay. Usually, I shuffle and everything. And yeah, so anyways. For me, today this is really a message about being an observant. You look at how everything works, right? You go through life like this, and you're in the bubble. That's you, right? And it could be that you observe relationships also, maybe you've been in a situation where someone else chose someone else and they're in a relationship and you look at that. Or maybe you are in a situation, it can apply for everything. I think this reading it covers a much broader span of time, right? So because as an observant, you look at things for for a long time, and make notes and look at things, and you have to be able to come to conclusions. You also have to take your time, right? And so this is this can apply to not just relationship but ships. It's just an example, when you observe how a relationship functions. First there's this honeymoon phase, in love and everything, and then it gets normal, and then maybe you get bored, and then or someone else gets bored, or it just doesn't feel right anymore, and then you argue, and then you break up, and then blah blah blah, and then you are single, and then you are hurt, and then you are healing, and then you get another relationship. It's this observing this shows you the emptiness of it, right? The emptiness of that, but why is it that I think you still want a relationship, right? It's weird, isn't it? Yeah, you are on Earth and you observe the senselessness of this existence and you're still a bit sad about dancing on one foot, which means, I see today it's this that one person is 1 foot, so basically that a relationship feels more stable if you are two, right? I mean, like also from a practical standpoint, right? You have got 2 feet to stand upon, and if you would live together, for example, you would split bills. It could also be that you are maybe it's the observant is not too attached with emotions. The observant is just observing, and with the logical part of the brain. So of course, if you would live in or share a house, for example, and share the costs, you could maybe live in a better house together than what you could afford for yourself, right? So that's a very logical and ice cold observant, non-romantic conclusion, right? And things like that, and maybe you were thinking about switching jobs, but you cannot afford certain jobs because they are so low paid that you think about, if this person would be in a relationship who gets the job and would share costs, they can afford this job. That's weird. But it's this logical observation of life, right? And it can not just, it's not just something in relationships, but that's the main thing, because that's where our emotions lie, right? When we are alone and we see other people finally getting together, getting engaged, getting married, and what this looks like, right? And you are sitting alone in your bubble. Of course, it's making you feel. I think, even though you apply a lot of logic to everything, your heart still wants to be saved in a way. Not saved, but pampered, right? Yeah, because you can apply a lot of logic to everything, but still, it's not. Emotions are not as logical as the observant looks at it. It's this when you are an observer with all the logic, yeah, right, things make sense, but it also doesn't. I think when you are really applying the logical mind, you see that there's the whole existence is actually somewhat, empty, right? And it could also apply to traveling, for example. For example, if you look at other cities, right? It appears to be very interesting to go someplace else, but especially in the same country. Well, every city is the same in a way. They've got a city center where you get shopping opportunities, and even the shops, partially also around the world. There are certain brands who operate with their branches all around the world, right? So in a way, everything is structured the same. Maybe there are some slight differences in climate and some leftover culture, I would say, because I think these days it's merging, right? It still feels a bit boring, even to go city hopping, for example, because it's always the same everywhere, right? And everything just doesn't make sense. And it's just, it feels a bit empty, everything. And this could leave you in a position that you would want to reject everything, and just sit there secluded in your bubble, as your own blob, and look at your own dirty kitchen, right? Could be that you also are heavily engaged in trying to heal yourself, and maybe it's not working out as perfectly as you wish to, right? But I think there's a connection, because if you observe everything from a logical standpoint and you come to the conclusion that everything's empty, it leaves you in a depressed state, because everything that a lot of people are excited about doesn't excite you in a way, right? Because you see how dysfunctional everything is and how senseless everything is. For example, this big city example, right? It's just, it's sad, isn't it, that we don't have that we are not embracing culture and individuality in a way that we could, and that every city center is a copy and paste of the other city center, at least in the same country. It may vary from country to country, of course, but still it's quite similar, nonetheless, right? And everything has got a buy this sign, right? It's a shadow that you wish you could escape from, right? because after many years of observation, it's the observation itself becomes your shadow, because you know it doesn't really make sense. Everything doesn't really make sense, and it just is pointless, right? It is, in a way. I think that's the conclusion you came to. And I think what you wish you could experience would be life from a less observant standpoint, and more, when you've been on this planet for a while and you went through the cycles, you see the templates of everything, and it's always a cycle. And I think you wish you could just explore life from the eyes of someone who doesn't have the wisdom of coming to the conclusion that everything is really just senseless. Because when we come to a conclusion like this, we just sit there, and we become one with our couch, right? And that's it. That's all there is. But is this making sense? It doesn't, right? Because we are not on this planet to just sit around in our house and secluding, or this, putting a barrier between us and life. That's not how we are supposed to live. But still, I think it feels to me that you are in this situation where you are having the feeling that that it's just not worth it. Is it? Could be, right? I think that's your current state of mind. This, everything's empty. It really just doesn't make sense, and I'd rather stay alone. I think that's what you are thinking, right? I'd rather be alone than being engaged in everyday drama. But I think what could be good for you would be to let someone in. But there's this, I think, as with the many masks, there's some big trust problem that you have. Maybe you don't believe that you could have someone that you have had an eye on for a while. Maybe you think, well, then that's not going to work out. Or maybe you are wondering, or maybe you are pessimistic and think, well, no, right? To protect yourself, right? I think the key to exploring this planet is knowing of all the risks and possibilities, but doing it anyways, right? It could also be that you would like to be with someone who sees your authentic self, who sees your darkness and your light. I think you want to be mysterious in a way for someone, right? You want to keep your secrets, but with someone who you more or less cannot do that, right? It's a bit of a different story. There's this trust issue, because letting someone in and letting them see you completely is much more fragile than just having casual relationships with people you can read, but they cannot read you. Do you know what I mean? People you are outsmarting, people you are people who cannot see all your secrets. That's weird. Yeah, but I think for you, the key to this is to let the masks go and to accept the senselessness, but doing it anyways, right? And this will give you, I think you took enough time to be the observant, and there's more for you to learn and to observe. But I think you are at this point just at the phase where you are looking, observing and rejecting, because nothing really feels like it's worth it. But life wants to show you that there's something, that this is a balancing act, to know of all of this, but seeing the beauty in all of this and going for it. It's where you focus on. If you focus on senselessness and maybe also logical decisions, you know, it's this loving someone from a different part of the world, even though it's just not making sense from a logical point of view to fall in love with someone who lives on the other side of the planet, right? It makes much more sense to just be with someone who is more conveniently accessible, right? But yeah, well, there's more to it though, you know, there's this excitement of traveling and the possibility of this. It's a whole package, right? And I think falling in love is also something very special, because that's the point of it, right? If you could fall in this well, if you could fall for someone that easily, then everybody would marry their neighbor, right? It's not that easy. You know, there's much more complexity to it. And maybe you are such a unique expression of beingness that you require that it was required for you to find someone that you couldn't find in your country. I have to see it like that, right? But you know, yeah, that's I think that's the magic of this, right? That you cannot just go for any person, right? It has to be someone special, right? It's this, you know what this is, right? What this looks like. So, you know, when the human gets made, right? There are a lot of those creatures swimming around in the water. Is it water? No, well, it consists of mainly of water, right? And well, only one gets the shot, right? And it's like 1 in a million, and that's the point. And then another blob is made. Yeah, what's the dirty kitchen? This is a healing, you know, it's this, oh, maybe are you not feeling, oh, maybe you are not feeling worthy enough. Maybe you're looking, oh, this is another thing with the trust. So you know yourself. You know what a pain in the ass you are. I'm saying it in a loving way, okay? You don't want to you don't want to to let someone else see your yeah, your dirty kitchen, and you don't want to be a burden in a way, right? You don't. I think that's the way you look at yourself. It's just, oh no. You look at yourself and you see the failure, and you're like, nah. You know what? No way. I'm gonna no. You know, no way. I'm gonna let this. No way. I'm going to risk this, because look at this. You know, look at that. No. You know, they will for sure show me the finger, because look at this. But you know what? If you meet someone special and you read them and they read you, well, they are well aware that they themselves have a freaking dirty kitchen as well. So they are basically two failures from other ends of the world coming together. Yeah, this is not lovely, two idiots mating. That's what I was getting. Okay, well, there's still a possibility to reject all of this, but it's way too intriguing, I think, at this point, because, well, at least the city centers in other countries have different shops. Yeah, so, I don't know, the guidance is clearly to just go for it, and yeah, even if it ends like any other shit that you went through, there's a possibility for that, of course. There's also a possibility that by finding someone very special, that it could be a little bit different, maybe, because that's the point, I think. That was the first message that I had to disregard. It's this, maybe you had an eye on someone, and there's someone that chose someone else, and you're sitting alone again. You're wondering, why is that not working out? You know, maybe you were certain that this would work out, but it didn't. And it could be that you're just questioning where's your right fit. But the point is, your right fit, it will work with your right fit. But if it's not your right fit, then it will not work. And just look at it from this thing, you know, it's just, yeah, well, you know, there is something like a perfect match in a way. There's something out there. It's just, well, if you haven't found it, or if you haven't acknowledged it, well, of course, then you're still alone. And I think that's also a good way to be, because you don't want to be with someone who's not your right fit. You just don't, because it doesn't work. There are always issues and stuff like that, right? Yeah, so magic. So the guidance is, yes, you're an observant. Yes, it doesn't make sense. Yes, it's just, right? But get the magic in, and what's your focus? Where are you focusing on? Bam, bam. Where are you focusing on? Okay. I want to pull some more cards, because I didn't shuffle in the beginning, right? And that's not satisfying, right? So, oh yeah, if you find a word, it's for you. Stuck. Cycles. Yes, magic how that works. Yeah. I don't look. Otherwise, I'll laugh again, I guess. Okay. Recharge. When the pace of life becomes too hectic, know to slow down, be mindful and go with the flow. Oh, look. They are merging into one. Couples everywhere. Bad. Yeah. Right. Yeah, you know, if you see other people matching up with other people, you're wondering if you are not matchable and if you are supposed to be your own match, right? Well, you can always make a choice. Just saying. Yeah, look at this weirdness. What's that? Originality. Feel lighthearted and free while trusting that your unique way of doing things is the right way. Yeah, it could be that you are striving to be someone else without seeing your own value, that you are already original and cool, and look at that. Oh, such a special creature. Mau. Yeah, anyways, so yeah. It's funny. It just reminds me of a tarot reading I saw from another reader. Those cards. Funny how that works. Yeah. So let's see who this reading is for. I think did I make sense in this? I don't know. I hope it helped. I think I got the message through. It's just yes. Okay. So let's see who this reading is for. Oop. Capricorn. Okay. Yeah. So I hope that was helpful. Additional info is in the letter box below, and see you next time. Bye bye.